Hi, I'm Good Breather, and you're listening to a Rated R podcast.
The forlorn hope that is Bammsters. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural episode 3-4 years ago. This is episode 143. My name is Bam Havoc. Today, joining me in the hot seats is your boy G and your gangster Draconis.
I think I should take that as a compliment, actually.
Yeah, I'm just going to sign up as being completely confused at this point.
Don't worry, I am as well. Boys and girls, welcome to episode 143, guys. 3 years ago now? Yeah, 3 years ago now. Myself, G, and a few others started a podcast, talk about bits and pieces, what we thought was good after the old Dust 514 nonsense, and here we are, 3 years later. It's a great place to be, absolutely great. Talking to people, seeing a lot of beautiful faces, getting to meet them face to face over the internet, it's delicious. Many of them have beards. It's interesting.
And I'll just say that intro was wiggity wiggity whack.
Oh, Jesus. You with your... I swear, it never ceased to amaze me.
You did this.
You know, you did this.
Okay, we might have celebrated the birthday episode a little bit early.
Oh, wow. I was under the impression this was being released on the birthday episode. 143, was it? Was it not?
Yeah, I'm just pondering somebody started drinking a few weeks ago.
Well, not saying I'm not drinking, but, you know, I did save a few cans.
So, Bam, what do we have for this week?
Well, believe it or not, G, we have a few things going on this week. We're going to be discussing games we've played over the week. Over the week, yeah, why not? Over the past year. We're going to be discussing interviews we've enjoyed over the past year, people we've spoken to. We're going to discuss places and things we've been to, mostly you and Drake, because I've been lacking in that department this year, but not next year. I aim to improve that at least 100%. And we're going to have the Bammsters Game Awards, because you can't have a Game Awards without saying Bammsters. Oh, and thanks for the name, by the way. You dick.
Works just fine.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
Should we start on a high note or a low note?
High.
Let's start at the bottom.
Okay, low.
Wasn't too thrilled with Overkill's Walking Dead. Didn't feel like it was actually a Walking Dead game. It felt like it was a Payday game in a zombie universe playing at being a Walking Dead game. But, yeah, didn't care for that too much. Some indie titles, Dustwind. That was pretty cool. It's a post-apocalyptic multiplayer game, top-down. Had some fun with that. Got a chance to play one night even stream with one of the folks that we know that works in PR, Rachel from Go Publix. And had quite a bit of fun that night too. Let's see, some of the other ones. Strange Brigade, Guacamelee 2 was a good time. I know Bam's disappointed that I was the one that ended up with that.
I hate you for that. Hate you so much for that. That game looked really cool, and I tell you what, when you pulled that review out, I disagreed in some parts, but I tell you what, overall, I agree with what you said. It was a lot of fun watching you play the game, and I was so jealous.
Oh, it's really cool. I even got a chance to test out a little bit of the multiplayer with a buddy of mine here. So, those of you, unfortunately, TJ could not be here today, but he is the one that got a chance to test that out with me, and he's a big wrestling and lucha libre fan, so he totally enjoyed that. Played a bunch of hours of Far Cry 5, tried out some of No Man's Sky, and most recently been spending a lot of time in Destiny 2 after the Forsaken update.
Well, I'm glad Destiny 2 managed to pull you back in. I got hold of Destiny 2, and let's put it this way, it wasn't my destiny. Hashtag not my destiny.
Yeah, the initial part's a bit bland. In fact, even...
A bit bland? What?
Well, look, when it first came out, I will admit to the fact that because I hadn't played it on PlayStation, and I really had wanted to play it on PC when it came out on PC, I was a little overly excited. And I actually had a good time with it, but now going back and looking back on it, they had a week where you could download and install for free, and my daughter's been bugging me to play that. So we put it on the PC that she uses, and we've been playing through the story, and it's kind of a slogfest. But I will say that since Forsaken came out, like, they started off on the right foot. Things were going well. Then we had Curse of Osiris. Oh no, that was beforehand. Curse of Osiris and more mind blanking the other one. This is how memorable they were.
Yeah, there we go.
But no, Forsaken was a step in the right direction. So yeah, it's been kind of up and down. But I don't know. We'll see how things go next year.
Well, believe it or not, Drac, I can't agree with you more. Very bland. I was a big fan of Destiny 1. I would actually leave. Now, this is how much I was into Destiny 1. I'd be playing Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1, and someone would say, yeah, bam, let's go for a raid. I would drop that chat like a fucking hot potato, and I'd run across to the next one just so I could participate in a raid. Because that's how much fun it was. And, you know, I got a lot of flack for it because I was ditching my team on Battlefield 4 and supporting the team in Destiny and whatever have you. But I just enjoyed the raids. The raids were a lot of fun. It's the teamwork, it's the coordination, it's the timing, it's everything that involves, and it's the frustration when you lose, but you want to have another go.
I get why people like that. I like things kept simple. I follow the old anagram KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And some of the more complicated puzzles, when we've been doing stuff with raids, I kind of just sit back and I'm like, I'll just clear ads. You guys go deal with all the complicated shit.
Yep, I can see what Destiny was planned for you. No, it's it's interesting because for me it was obviously Destiny 2. I didn't rate it very highly on the thing. It was very bland, very memorable, and yet forgetful at the same time. Division. I was in that. I'm still into that, but I have been lacking the urge to go play it. A lot to do with the Dark Zone. When you're running around in level whatever with your crew and all of a sudden get murked by ninjas from halfway across the map because of bullshit lag and stuff, it gets frustrating. You just leave and you just can't be asked going back there. I played Paragon beginning of the year. I believe it shut down in January. Now, I was heavily into that game. That obviously canned itself because they decided to pull all the resources into Fortnite, and I never really got on with Fortnite, Battle Royale Fortnite. I don't have the urge to go play that either. I enjoy my first-person shooters, but not that sort of style. I am glad to tell everyone, whoever listens to this, that Paragon's coming back as a new game called Call. It's essentially got the old scaffolding, and it's going to be an MMO on a MOBA on the PlayStation 4, first-person shooter, which is great.
I'll round out mine with a few more indie dev mentions that I wanted to get out there. Shadowbug was something I got sent that was on the Switch, and that one is a lot of fun. Bacon Man, totally appropriate for our neck of the woods. Yeah, a lot of that one was fun, very challenging but fun, and the topic of, or I should say, the main character really fits with what we do here.
Okay, Drac, can I just point out, you thought it was challenging, right? You're the guy who liked Destiny 2, which is basically just Warframe for slow people.
You love throwing that around, don't you?
But it's the truth. I played the damn thing, it was boring. But Bacon Man, it was annoying because there was a glitch on the Mac version. Besides that, not that challenging. It's not easy, but it's fun in its challenge level.
Who cares about Mac anyway?
Didn't you just contradict yourself? It's not challenging. It's not easy. Like, that challenging is the exact
it's
opposite
at the right
of easy.
level. It's not, it's too challenging. I know when you say, something's challenging, that meant you probably threw a keyboard through a window somewhere. I know your style.
There's no windows here, so...
But I want to know why we're even discussing Mac and Nintendo. Who cares about those? They're not proper consoles or PCs. Again, I'm going to reiterate this. The Nintendo is a tablet. That's all it is. A tablet with peripherals. Or periphery, whatever you want to call it. That's it. And let's go for it. Let's stab Apple where it hurts the most. It's just a PC with a closed system.
It's potato. Tablet, mobile console. Who cares?
You can play excellent game on it, and it has an NVIDIA graphics chip in it.
So we got moving along. We another one that got brought to our attention. Funny enough, at least to me, the company is, I think, Draconis Limited, and has absolutely nothing to do with me. but it was a game called Hexters. Yeah, we got to interview a gentleman that started a company he called Draconis Limited, or LTD, I think it was, if I remember right. And they've made a game called Hexters, it's kind of a neat little strategy game. It's available on Steam. And
That was also pretty okay.
yeah, and then
Yeah, I like the storytelling in it. It wasn't simple, but it was cute.
yeah, well, and that's one that's right up your alley, G, because it's one of those that, it's a kind of a simulation building sim.
Things that are nice and slow.
I tell you what I liked indie game wise, right? And I know I've been banging on about this game for a while since I've played it, but it was Shadows of... Pardon, it's the beer. It was Shadows Awakening.
Shadows of Blat. Yeah, that one
And
was
I know a
cool.
PR company was going to love us after that bit.
Yeah, right?
What's that? So... It's called editing, and I believe Draconis is editing this one, so I don't care.
Nope. This is all you, Bam. Nice try.
Nope. No, seriously, Shadows Awakening, good game, man. I reckon they needed some more budget in the sound department, as I've said before, because the thing that still gets me, I'm still playing it, is the metal feet on the cobblestones, and then the wolves, the wolf got like dog feet, wolf feet, whatever have you. It still sounds like metal shoes on the cobblestones.
It's funny you talk about that because we got a chance to interview Cujo Sound not too long ago. You and I did, and he was talking about how sound can annoy you in a game and how all the stuff they did, an insane amount of research in my mind.
Too much stuff. I honestly think they went too in depth there, but I understand the reasoning behind it, but I think they went too far down that rabbit hole there.
Maybe, but it's still, I don't know. It was eye-opening for me, mind-blowing in a way that they kind of went to that level of research when it came to audio design. I thought it was pretty cool.
And that was just in Hitman.
Right.
A game that neither you or I rated very highly on our radar. Boy, I felt like an absolute tit saying, yeah, you voted for the game. Cool. We didn't like it.
I can't say we didn't like it because neither one of us played it. It just didn't capture our interest.
Didn't like it enough to go ahead and play it. I mean, come on. Didn't like it and didn't like it.
Okay, I'll do one more and then I'll turn it over. Demonical. This one is a 4 versus 1, if I remember correctly. 4 humans, 1 demon, out in the woods, the demon's trying to kill him. And I had a good time, one of those times when I was live streaming, getting to play as the demon and rickrolling all my victims.
That's just evil.
What's that game that Booker played beginning of last year? Evolution?
Evolve.
Evolve, that's it. Did you just play Evolve on a indie budget?
Not that I'm aware of. If you're talking about, is that Arc Evolved?
No, they work very different. There's the same asymmetrical style, 1 versus 4.
Oh!
But the mechanics are very different.
Yeah, you're talking about the one where you hunt down the monster. Okay, yeah, the ginormous monster. Okay. Yeah, no, it's a similar gameplay style, but different game entirely. This is more like Dead by Daylight, where there's one person playing as the psychopathic serial killer, and everybody else that's online playing in the match is human beings trying to survive and live through, at least in this case, one night.
I did play Dead by Daylight, and let me tell you, okay, next, that's my honest opinion of it.
I can't speak about Dead by Daylight. I did think that the cool thing about Demonical was they did a fairly good job with the design of the creature, and it definitely got people to jump out of their seat, so it was really cool. I think it's probably one of those games that if you have fun playing those games, you can enjoy it, but it was definitely one of the ones that was fun to watch and watch people's reaction to, getting hunted down and killed by the demon showing up out of nowhere.
Thought it was pretty basic, quite primitive, but then that's me. And people that enjoy the game, by all means, please go and enjoy it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I do not want to stand in your way. If people enjoy the game, I mean, I know Dead by Daylight's injured by quite a few people. Not my sort of cup of tea.
So I'll stop talking about the games I played, because I can probably keep going on.
Did you mention Video Kid?
No, but you know what? That review will be coming out here in the next week or two before the end of the year. I have it written. We just need to get it through editorial.
Because I think you said that for the last 3 or 4 episodes now that the review is coming out.
Yeah, no, I have it written now. It just needs to finish the editorial process. I love it. G's putting me out there, right? He's just spanking my ass.
He's got the scattergun out. No one's going to get... I'm going to get flack for something I haven't done now. You watch.
No? Why would I do that?
No, he's right, though.
Because you're just G. You're the overlord. Just bang! bang, 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 and it just went bang.
No, he's absolutely he's right about that though. They the folks doing the PR for that sent a key to me right before I left for PAX. Got a chance to play it while I was on the plane out there and back. I had a lot of fun with it. There's only one level. One of the reasons it took me so long to get around to actually doing the write-up on the review was because I thought there were more than one level, and I wanted to get through the first level. But it's a roguelike, where, you know, you die, you start all the way back at the beginning, and I just kept doing it over and over again, trying to get to the end of the level.
Ah, poor Drake.
Nah, don't be poor me. It's actually a fun game to play. As much as I don't typically enjoy roguelike games, I did enjoy this one. It's got a lot of 80s nostalgia in it.
I think my gaming for this past year has been a little bit different from you two's. Railway Express actually took up a lot of time for me. I don't know why. Just sitting there and building railroad tracks and making them, you can tweak a little bit, and cut some corners there, and can make that shorter, and you can get more trains going in that direction. That's fun.
You know what? I'm going to jump in here real quick just to say that this is one of the things I love.
Are you going to jump? You've clocked onto what I've just clocked on. I bet you could drag. Go. You first.
No, I love the fact that between the three of us, like G, the games that he enjoys, he does enjoy some of the stuff that we like to do, but he really enjoys some of this other stuff that you and I kind of look at and we're like, yeah, no. Like, I'm okay. That's too much work. But he's into it, so that's cool though. It adds a little diversity to the things that we look at.
No, what I was going to say is, again, G likes micromanagement sims. He's not the macromanagement type, he's the micromanagement type. You give him something he can micromanage and he's all over that.
But I don't micromanage you.
You bloody well do, I know you do.
I was going to say, that must be why it works well for us. G, for those of you who maybe are new or don't know, or maybe have joined us recently, G is our local cat herder, and we are the cats.
Because neither one of us could hurt a damn cat. G somehow managed to lasso these things, or as American would say, lasso! Woo! And he grabs us with that damn thing.
Of course we say lasso, because it ends in an O, it doesn't end in a U. What the hell?
It's how you speak England, man. Come on. God. It's like colour and colour.
Yeah, I don't know where that U comes from either.
What? Kala. La. Not law. Kala. And it's aluminium.
No, it is
And
most
beer.
certainly not aluminium.
Not beer. It's beer.
No, beer we can agree on.
Ah, gentlemen.
We totally got sidetracked. Sorry, G. Please continue with your list.
No, I'm just wondering whether I should mention that I played Project Hospital. It sounds like you're just gonna...
There we go, another micromanagement sim.
Or Endless Space 2. That was actually good fun. That's actually... If people like The Sims, Endless Space 2 is worth getting into because the way they tell stories in very diverse races, species. So that was actually pretty good.
Endless Space 2. How can you have Endless Space... If it's endless, then Endless Space 1 shouldn't be over yet.
Agree.
No, because it's not the space that is endless. It's the people. There's a progenitor race called the Endless, and it is their space. So you're missing part of the story from Endless Space.
Drake, do you smell that? Yeah, I smell it too,
I can smell what the G is cooking.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this kitchen.
And it smells like it comes from a cow's anus.
There we go. Divert from YouTube's language algorithms. Here we go. Say words like anus. Well, no, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I give him that. Totally give him that. The one micromanagement that I quite liked was Prison Architect. That was a good game.
That one's good. Shame they did not go well with the following up game. Not a Prison Architect game, but their next game, VR game, was a little bit hit and miss.
No, unfortunately, people were expecting more of the same because they had such a massive following, and that's what I think tanked it. But they will have always been a Prison Architect.
But that's weird because that company has made, 7 games now? And they've been very different, all of them. So assuming that they will make more of same, this is weird.
That's true.
Bad expectations. Okay, Fallout 76. I actually played that one. You two didn't.
Wait a minute. I have recently.
Wait a minute. I don't want to. Like you said, take a year. Take that year. Give the devs that time if they are so inclined, or if the producers are so inclined to actually fix the problems with the game. Then perhaps maybe I'll be interested in it. And I'm also waiting for that 70%, or should I say 76% discount.
Ooh, I got a 50% discount.
It's excellent. I will guarantee you get it now and we'll have fun. Pure and simple. It's excellent fun playing together, as long as you ignore all the bugs and constant restarting the game.
See, I'm glad you brought that game up too, because one of the things I've been thinking lately is that I should probably mention at some point how I intend to have fun playing that game. But of course, the reason it works for me is I haven't really played any of the previous Fallout games. I think I played 20-30 minutes of Fallout 4. It was a series that never... I know, I'm looking at Bam's face right now, and he's like shocked and... yeah, he's about ready to set down his headset and walk away, but...
yeah, damn right I am.
Yeah, it's one of those series that never really grabbed me, and I know part of the reason it never grabbed me was because it's a single-player series up until this point, and I have a really hard time finding enough time to play and really dig into single-player games. But I started with this one, so I don't have... I want to say the expectations that folks who are fans of Fallout will have with the series. I'm not necessarily a fan of the bugs and the other issues that have been going on with it, but I will say the way that I'm going to have fun playing the game is exploration. One of the things I did with Skyrim, I've still never finished the story. Every time I go back to that game, I get lost in the world just exploring things. And there's a lot of really neat locations on the map to go check out for Fallout 76.
You're so full of shit.
Seriously, that's what I'm going to do.
You've played Skyrim, you've played Fallout 4.
See, I have the headache in Fallout 76. I walk, a kilometer, half a kilometer, whatever distance. I pick up so much crap. I can't walk anymore. I have to go back to where I live, dump all of it, and then go out again. And then during that going out phase, I pick up so much crap, I have to go back home. I never make it more than, half a kilometer away from my base.
Well, maybe stop picking up so much crap.
I can't. Just build in.
I think G's one of them hoarder types.
Yeah,
It
in
seems
games
like.
I am.
Ooh, shiny! Ooh, shiny! Ooh, shiny!
But we're not talking about your forehead right now.
No. Let's not go to the foreheads now, son. Yeah, it's an affliction upon us forehead challenged. Right, it's an affliction.
You saw the recent news. There's a new Fallout game.
Oh, here we go.
Is it on mobile?
No. Jeez.
Obsidian.
It's on mobile, isn't it?
No.
No. Obsidian, the makers of the Fallout New Vegas, is now making a space game, Fallout New Borderlands.
That's like the next Far Cry game that I've titled Far Cry 76 Pink Edition. No, that's not the name of the... Bam, that's not the name of the game. It's called Outer Wilds.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, meanwhile, the developers of Outer Wilds, which is another game, is now gonna get completely buried. Have fun. Fallout fans are definitely looking forward to that.
No.
Do you guys like things that gets destroyed?
No.
Right? Breaking things.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've been playing Nimbitus, which is only in early access. But basically, you put together a Kerbal Space Program-ish style, a spaceship with mining lasers and missiles and whatnot. Then you have to fly in this sort of 2D, very much like, Bam, what's that game you like to play? That Space Adios. So, very Adios-ish. Round planet that you kind of can fly around, but then you can mine out the planet with all these lasers and things flying at you. It seems to have some fun gimmicks. I'm looking forward to see where the game is heading.
We spoke to developers like that, didn't we?
For Adios, yes.
No, the other ones. There was a game that was coming out that was similar to Adios, where you could basically bolt on.
Space Scavenger.
There we go.
Yeah, we spoke to them. That was also interesting to see where that's heading. People can go and get that one.
No, not can go. Must go.
Must
because
go, okay.
These guys, when they get in the little red cabin in the woods, red cabin.
Games, yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, I see the cogs are turning. When they get into their red cabin in the woods, right, no word of a lie, those boys can make some games, and this game looks like a lot of fun. If you're into exploration, and you're into, I want to say, a very, very hard challenge, Adios. If you're into shooting the shit out of everything, or sorry YouTube, apologies, don't strike me, shooting the old fecal matter out of everything and having a lot of fun while doing it, Space Scavenger. Both games will be on my hit list.
Get Nimbitus onto there as well. It's largely same mechanics, and a lot of fun. A little bit more nerdy. Quite a bit more nerdy, actually.
I'm looking forward to them bringing out the Adios Amigos, where they have multiplayer.
Well, it is out, just not on PlayStation.
No, I'm talking about PlayStation. My world. I'm not going to buy an Xbox One. I'm just not.
No, but you should build a PC.
Yes, okay, chill. Alright, calm down. My freaking 10-year-old laptop, actually that's not 10 years old yet, is good enough now. Booker called it the clockwork laptop. I wound it up beginning of this episode. It'll be fun.
The last game I want to make sure we mention that we've been playing, at least I've been playing the hell out of last month and a bit, is Boundless. It's basically Minecraft MMO. Squeenix, or the Square Enix Initiative, accidentally gave me a key, and it is a great game if you're into the whole MMO and running around killing things with your mates and building weird shit and having challenges and progressing through. So for a survival game, for building Minecraft style, yeah, and MMOing and having fun with your friends, whether it's mostly PB, let's be honest, that's actually a good game.
Do we have a review for that game yet, G?
We don't, because I don't want to review it because there might be some complaints in it. I still want to get the developers on the show, and if I do a review, I'm fairly sure they won't. So, it's it's one of those, definitely check it out. It's suffering a bit because it has a mechanic where stuff in the game disappears about 7 weeks after you stop playing. And it's been out for about 8 weeks, and stuff is disappearing.
I know that one, it looks really cool, and I definitely want to find some time at some point to delve more into that. The only problem I had when I first looked at it is getting started is a bit of a daunting task. When you see what everyone else has built and you're starting with nothing.
Yeah, when you run along and suddenly there's a Deadpool mountain. Okay, somebody built a giant Deadpool.
Or when someone leaves pink flashing signs in front of your door.
That's usually me.
Yeah. I found a city I went into where people had set up like trade places and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, but the latest update, now you can make Blinky sign things. So all those trading market areas, there are just one epileptic seizure.
I still can't believe that Eben didn't like that. I mean, seriously, isn't he into the whole techno blinky?
I was going to say the same thing. I'm shocked Eben didn't thank you unreservedly and then proceeded to ask you to build more within his premises and on top on a huge scaffolding sign saying, "This is Eben's house, ram it," or "fornicate off," or something like that. I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I played with Eben, our former audio editor. And he forbid me to change anything in his house after I changed all his stairs to blue and I started planting flowers on his floor. So when the latest update introduced blinking blocks, he immediately, without any provocation or anything, told me I wasn't allowed to make blinking blocks inside his house. So I made blinking blocks outside of his house, outside his windows, spelling out the word Ibn.
Well, why don't next time build a scaffolding over his house? It's not on his house or in his house, but it's over with a huge sort of billboard sign saying Eben's house. Come and have fun. Fun house.
I only had a couple of hours from that update came out until Eben would be online.
Have you seen, there's like a street in Vegas where they have like this arch and the whole arch is lined with lights and you could build this huge lighted arch above his house.
I don't want to troll the one living on the other side of Eden, so I'm keeping it to one side right now.
So, troll them both! When have you ever cared?
No, I don't want to troll Grit's wife because it's just going to hurt Grit.
Again, when have you ever cared on trolling Grit? Or Eben?
Well, there's a difference between trolling and getting him a divorce.
No, that won't happen. Do it. Do it. God, what's her name again?
Senny. There
we go. I'm sure Senny won't mind pink flashy love.
I want to go back, though, and I want to unpack that statement that he made without provocation. Right before that statement, I turned his stairs blue, and I planted flowers all over the place, but there was no provocation.
There was no provocation. There was nothing prompting the statement, "Do not make my house blinky."
The thing I think Eba needs to learn about G is the minute you say don't do something, he's immediately going to go ahead and fucking do it. So you just don't say anything to G, and they won't pop the idea into his fucking head.
Oh, perfect. G, do not write a review for Bammsters.
There we go. Now the idea's in his head, you see.
So yeah, that was a little bit of what we played this year, I guess. Lots of fun times were had.
Lots of fun times ahead.
Speaking of fun times, well, I guess we should talk about places we went, maybe?
I went to my couch, and then to my bed.
I went to my toilet.
Nobody wants to think about that.
What? What places I went? Car, outside my house, places.
What is it with
Toilet?
people like who consider themselves gamers, who play games, having to tell everybody every time they take a dump? Like, there's these guys I've been playing Destiny with, that it's like, oh, I gotta go take a dump, or, oh, wait, I can't start the match yet because I'm taking a dump. Like, really? Take your fucking headset off. Take a few minutes. Like, just tell me you need to step away.
Are they Scandinavian?
No, they're American.
Okay, because it's in Scandinavia, it's a thing. Whenever somebody goes to the toilet, they will announce, "Oh, I'm going to the toilet to pee." Like, you'll be in a room full of people. Somebody stands up and goes, "Oh, I gotta go to the toilet," and leaves. Cubicles, yeah, they'll shout over the edges of the cubicles.
I'm okay with, like, I need to take a bio break, or I need to take a restroom break, or whatever, but, like, I don't need the details. I don't need to know that you're currently speaking to me as you're taking a dump because you have a wireless headset, and it's still on your head while you're taking a dump talking to me.
Really? You don't want to know?
I don't need to know, and I would prefer not to know. So,
But come on, Drag, we're just trying to involve you. Just trying to include you in our activities. Drag, you know you want to be included.
I don't need to be included in that particular activity.
Join in and join the fun.
Why not? Why not? Why don't you want to be included, Drac? It's a natural thing.
Oh, it absolutely is a natural thing, but I don't include people when I go take a dump.
You're so squeamish. I don't understand it. You are so squeamish.
It's not about being squeamish. It's just about unnecessary information.
How is that unnecessary? I'm going to go take a dump.
The necessary part is you're going to be away from your keyboard. Okay, cool. The unnecessary part is the in-depth details of what it is that you're doing.
It's gonna be tough for Drac once we get our little reunion going. Oh, union, not reunion. Once we get Drac over here to one of our events. We'll be asking him to join us on the toilet.
Hold my hand, Drac! It's a beast! Hold it!
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to hold your own hand for that stuff.
No, we do actually have a little plan to get together in, what is it, April, Bam?
We do indeed.
Oh, is this where you try to push this on?
Yes. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, myself and G will be attending EGX.
EGX Rest, to be exact.
Correct. In London, April. We will be there. We'll be the only ones wearing a shirt that no one else has thought of. So keep your eyes peeled, because trust me, we'll burn the back end of your retinas out.
But no, what did we do this year?
I can see you're thrilled about the colour choice,
I'm
G.
thrilled about it. I'm trying to already move away from the topic and onto where we were. So no, Gamescom was great, and we got a lot of contacts and basically a bunch of people that I'm hoping to meet again at EDX Rex. Whereas we sent Drac to stand outside Comic-Con, because that makes sense.
Well, living here in San Diego, if you don't get a badge, you can at least wander around outside and see some of the things. But yeah, the lines are still stupid.
So was it a 4-hour queue just to play 20 minutes of a game again?
I'm not doing the long queues anymore. Screw that.
Makes total sense. Why bother standing in the queue for 4 hours for a paper goodie bag with nothing really special in it and 20 minutes of a game?
What goodie bag?
What?
What goodie bag?
Dude, I've stood in queues for 4 hours to play 20 minutes of a video game and I got a goodie bag.
Yeah, no goodie bag.
Dude, I swear to God, San Diego sucks.
No, Comic-Con is it used to have some really good freebies, but that was a long time ago, and now there's the occasional panel that still kind of has a goodie that's worthwhile, but yeah, it's not like it used to be, unfortunately. And
didn't you get an Atomic Blonde wig?
Was that this year or last year? I think that was last year.
I think that was last year, actually.
Yeah, that was 2017. Hey, dude, I was only sitting a couple rows.
Atomic Blonde wig. Maybe I should wear that at EGX Res. I don't have the same length of hair as G, and I'm going to be a bit hairless, so I'm thinking, get a wig.
You're not hairless. It might be receding, but you're not hairless.
Calm down a bit, son. Just because my hairline reaches to back behind my ears, right, doesn't mean you have to freaking point it out, yeah?
Hey, I can talk, because mine has been traveling that direction as well. Well, I have traveled long ways to be in the land of fruits and nuts, as I've been told.
Yep, fruits and nuts. Yep, totally agree. Whereas I'd much rather go live in Florida. Makes more sense there.
Comic-Con, outside, wandering around. Also went to E3, though, to be honest, I would... For any folks who haven't been to E3, I would say this. Unless you have a press pass, E3 really doesn't feel like it's worth it to me. Like Bam mentioned, you end up spending hours in a queue to play a 20-minute demo of a game that's coming out within a couple of months. Save your money, spend it on more games. It's E3 was not worth it.
The best advice I swear anyone can give you, where it's a lot of fun, stay at home, watch it on Twitch, you get a lot more enjoyment from it, save your pennies, save your time, save your effort, spend it on the game and play the game that you want to get. Obviously research the game before, because we all know that Blizzard dropped a bombshell with the mobile app, and I'm pretty sure people were, mortified.
But I will say this, there was a convention I did make it to this year up in Seattle that was, I felt, really well worth the time. And one of the things that made it well worth the time was I spent 95% of my time in the indie area. So I wasn't waiting in queues nearly as much. In fact, I practically didn't wait in queues at all. I got a chance to see some of the developers that we had an opportunity to interview on the show. And that was really cool, getting to see them in person. Yeah, the folks...
Bacon! Drek has fumbled because I said bacon, and he knows exactly what I'm on about. Who did you give bacon to? Because I know who they are.
Wait, no. I didn't give bacon to anybody.
You did. You drove an hour to go give these poor boys bacon.
Not this year.
Red. No, it doesn't matter this year. You did it. No, nonetheless.
This is 2018 in
because
review.
of the Red Planet games.
But we were talking about this year and people I had run into at PAX.
And you gave them bacon. The poor starving developers, we gave them a delicious bacon deliciousness.
So one of the folks that I ran into, that I did not deliver bacon to...
Just carry on, fuck you, babe, just carry on.
Because bacon was a couple of years ago. Bacon delivery, anyway. But we got an opportunity. I actually had a chance to actually sit down and play the game for quite a bit and check it out. It was Disco Elysium. And that one is pretty cool. It's got an interesting story to it. Kind of a fun, top-down clicker game where you point and click around and investigate different things. I didn't really know what to expect out of that one ahead of time. But Danielle, I think she's... G, correct me if I'm wrong. Is she their PR person?
Community manager.
Community manager, that's right. Yeah, she's someone we had on one of our Comic Shop Talk episodes a little while back, and she's working as their...
And we've had her as a guest host.
That's right. Yep. And she's their community manager, doing a great job, and that game is got a really interesting story to play through as well.
It's definitely on the list of games to check out next year.
And then I ran into Danny Weinbaum. They're making a game that... Oh, gee, you got to save me on this, because... Eastshade, that's right. So think of Skyrim, because it's similar in design. It's not the same, but it's got a very similar feel to the look of Skyrim. But instead of combat, you're like this painter that wanders around, and you do exploration, and you get an opportunity to like make paintings and stuff like that. You run into some really cool other creatures and NPCs as you're moving along, and there's a little bit of a story to follow there too. So that was cool, getting a chance to talk to him like in person. Like I said, we'd talked to them on the show before. So I don't know. It was really neat because spending all that time in the indie area like that, it was awesome to talk to people who I'd only ever met online before, and then it was also really cool getting a chance to collect business cards and get a chance to try and get to know folks a little bit for games that were still coming out that we haven't interviewed yet that we've been lining up since that time. So look ahead for that for a couple.
It's actually one of the things I really enjoyed at Gamescom was to meet a lot of people that we had already interviewed, people that we knew, also PR people for that matter, but a lot of guests that we'd had on I met at Gamescom. It was awesome to see them. And as you said, yeah, that's also where we find some of the guests for the future episodes. Gamescom for me was several months ago. We had Liftoff, the guys from Liftoff, on afterwards. Excellent game. If you can even call it a game, because it's a sim.
Agreed. Excellent game. Love that game. Beautiful game. Easy to manage, easy to play, easy to fly. The developer was just an absolute joy to speak to. The game was intuitive, the controls were precise, and it was a lot of fun to play that game. But it was a great game to play. Loved it. Good game.
Well, they say there's something like 95% there to how it flies in real life, how drones fly in real life. It's a drone flying sim, but...
Sorry, I just couldn't just stick the knife in the track and twist it. Because I know he couldn't play the game. Because he's fucking hopeless.
Oh yeah, I tried to play that game. I could not get the damn controls down. I crashed like frequently all the time.
I played it. I was fine.
Crashed and burned repeatedly.
Uh-huh.
So do
I want to see video proof.
Twist the knife.
You can see the video proof of my failures. I want to see the video proof of your
I
success.
saw the video proof of your flying, son. Don't worry. I don't need to.
No.
Trust me.
I was like Launchpad the Quack on that son of a bitch.
Oh, dude, seriously, you're giving Launchpad a bad name here. Seriously, but
What was he said something like I've never flown something I didn't crash.
So more PAX West, more E3 next year?
I don't think I'll do E3. Unfortunately, we have yet to have grown to a point where we qualify for an E3 pass. So, shameless plug here. If you like what we do, share it out. Hit that like button. Do the subscribe thing. Because it definitely will help.
yeah, unfair.
Yeah, it'll help, and at some point, maybe we grow our audience large enough that I can do press pass to E3. That would be really cool.
The thing is, right, the one thing that kills us the most is that we don't advertise ourselves like, share, like, subscribe, share, like, subscribe, share, like, subscribe. It just feels like it's begging, almost, so...
Yeah, we've never really, every once in a while we do it, but we really don't take the baseball bat in every episode and, beat people with it, so...
If you like the stuff we do, listen again. Come along for the ride. Happy days. Glad to have you on board. But unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily get us out there to see everyone. And the cat is eating my spicy chicken wings. I'm gonna frickin' kill it. Excuse me.
Well, there's a segue.
No, it's interesting to see where we're heading next year. Because, as you say, we're not there yet, size-wise. Need more of you listeners. But at the same time, Gamescom gave us passes, EDX gave us passes. I'm actually heading to 1UpConf this coming year. Bam is having chicken, and might even be attending some Game Award shows.
Attending or doing our own?
Well, we have plans for both, so Drac, take that one away.
Well, the Bammsters Sarcastic Game Awards is brought to you by, well, currently no one.
Yay, Game Awards!
I guess this was kind of my brainchild, just because I'm looking at the document and only
it was your
one of you
brainchild. We're gonna
decided to
have to
add
kill
one. We didn't even vote beforehand, so I guess we'll vote as we go, and you guys can kind of come along for the ride and see where we go. Although, unfortunately, I only have one in most of these categories. There's only a couple of them that have two options. So, the first one up is the bucket of Rocky Road ice cream for the most botched release award, and the competitors in the category are Fallout 76 by Bethesda or Battlefield 5.
This is where there should be a voice coming in and saying, Fallout 76 went all out to get everything wrong in their release, while Battlefield 5 made what was it, several different releases and people who bought the game were last to get it, etc.? No? Something explaining. I didn't really follow the Battlefield 5 because it wasn't interesting.
All I'm going to say to that is get woke, go broke, but then that's just an internet hashtag.
Well, my vote in this category goes to Fallout 76. What about you guys?
I think when it comes to purely the release, Battlefield actually kind of sort of takes it. But Bethesda then really went for it. They went all in with Nylon Gate. And yeah,
Balls out.
they went for it. Really, that PR person who apparently isn't there anymore, who went, oh, we're not going to do anything about it.
Would you kill me if I brought a third game to the table saying with the most botched release?
I wouldn't kill you, but I would say you should have done so before recording.
Okay, and then in that case, I might put my vote on Battlefield 5. They seem to be double downing on the on their idea of inaccurately reporting history. A lot of people holding them to task for that, and I don't necessarily think that's the idea. I think the idea the devs were going for was the story happened, but the protagonists within the story are likely to change. A lot of people didn't like that, but it has to be the release schedule for me. Like G said, people that bought their game were the last to get it.
All right. So I guess Battlefield 5 wins the bucket of Rocky Road ice cream.
I was thinking about go dig up some dirt, put it in a bucket, and send it to them.
All right, moving on. It's funny because it'll be the same two games again, the same two companies, and I had to look for like strange trophies to get this one, but it was the hot dog trophy for the strangest PR strategy for a game. Again, EA with Battlefield 5 and their "if you don't like it, don't buy it" comment, and yeah, and Bethesda for Fallout 76 Collector's Edition. Buy this canvas bag. We'll give you a nylon one instead and tell you to piss off.
Or Blizzard, don't you play on your phone?
There.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Blizzard on this one.
There's an anime show on Netflix, and I only just clocked it because I saw a meme. It's called One Punch Man, and it's One Punchline Man. I'm like, oh, quality. Yeah, a lot of fun. Some bald dude wins up there and says, "Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?" Really edgy stuff, bro. But it drove the point home.
So, Bam, your vote is?
Oh, Blizzard, definitely.
Oh, okay. Well, then it doesn't matter what I pick because you guys will take it home for Blizzard then.
Well, what do you pick?
So Blizzard gets the hot dog trophy. I honestly had a hard time, but as far as PR stuff goes, I mean, that's really baffling to me. On the one hand, you have EA saying if you don't like it, don't buy it, and on the other hand, you have Bethesda going falsely advertising a canvas bag, providing a nylon one, and then saying that it was either A, too expensive to make, or B, we're sorry you're disappointed, but we're not going to do anything about it. I guess I would have to go with EA on that. Telling your consumers not to buy your product is that's baffling to me as a PR person.
Well, that's the Biff Klasinski style that they also tried with Lawbreakers, right? Oh, this is for the hardcore. If you're not good, if you don't get good, don't buy the game. It's an attempt to be all edgy and shit.
So moving on. The Bammsters Yo-Yo for customer satisfaction. I nominated Bungie for Destiny 2 because the release was lackluster. The first two DLCs left a lot to be desired. Forsaken really kind of increased the playability of Destiny 2. And then they come out with the recent release with the Black Armory and the Forges. And the hilarious thing is, they changed the seasons about a week before Black Armory were released. So you started kind of a new season. And I say that you started a new season because the cosmetic stuff changed. And yet, when they released Black Armory a week after that, you start out at a power level of 600, which was the max that you could get up into that point. And then they recommend, I think it was a power level of like 620, if I remember right, to do the very first activity that came out on launch day. And that grind to get to, like, I played for 2 or 3 days and I'm only at, I think, 612. So at launch day, you couldn't even really play the content, or at least play through the content very well. I did finally manage to get through the first forge, but yeah, that's kind of been a bit of an up and down roller coaster. And you look at it online, it's social media with Activision saying it's underperforming, but Bungie saying, "Oh no, we're happy with where it's at." So, anyway, that's where I would give the Yo-Yo to.
I'm thinking, well, No Man's Sky with all they've been doing. Because frankly, again, Destiny, it might be awesome with those DLCs, but Destiny right now, if you don't have them, is as boring as ever. Destiny 2 at least. Whereas No Man's Sky really has turned around. They just went from that high peak of expectations, rock bottom, and then crawled, worked, really dug their way out. I think, the Yo-Yo should go to No Man's Sky.
Customer satisfaction award for me goes to Battlefield 5. Because the customers that bought it are so satisfied, they're still playing it. That's how satisfied they are.
So it sounds like we keep the Yo-Yo this year. We can't decide on who to give it to. Alright, well this next one is actually a positive award. It's the 1 pound of bacon award for the best use of bacon in a game.
Wait, did you just skip one?
No, I'm gonna go back to it, don't worry.
Pound of bacon for best use of bacon.
For this one I nominated Bacon Man, because I mean, how can you get a better use of bacon in the game than the main character who's the hero and is named Bacon Man, made of bacon. Bam, I hear you have a different opinion?
Yeah, I hear Bam shake his head.
Oh, I did hear him say no.
We're just waiting for Bam to finish his chicken.
The best use of bacon in a video game was when I was playing my Gran Turismo 5 and my wife bought me a bacon sandwich.
No, that's not in a video game, jackass.
I was playing Gran Turismo. I was inside my car. My wife brought me a bacon sandwich. I love her. I love that woman. I love her.
Brownie points. Brownie point achievement unlocked. Yeah, but later she might hear the show. Bam, you're disqualified. Gee, what do you think?
Ooh. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? Warcube was last year, so can't use that one. Mostly because the guy serving bacon in Warcube is actually Bam. Literally.
Well, we do have to keep it to 2018.
I know that. I was mortified. I've got to serve
So yeah,
bacon.
Bacon Man it is. Bacon Man takes the trophy. 1 pound of bacon to the developers.
Alright, so then we'll go next up, and there's a reason why I put this one off, because I think it pairs with the one that will come after. We'll go with the latex glove for the company most, quote-unquote, in touch with their consumers. To which...
Gee, I've got several nominees.
Well, I'm going to nominate Blizzard for their announcement of Diablo Immortal at the BlizzCon event.
I think we're just waiting for each other, because this is just one of those where you can again go Fallout because it isn't Fallout 5. You can go, still Bethesda, the next Skyrim Elder Scrolls game for not being on a new engine, the Starfield for not being out now. Even just right now, Dragon Age 4 for having the least informational trailer when people have been screaming about it for ages. There's just...
Yeah, that was pretty bad. They kind of teased that pretty heavily, that like we were going to get from information about Dragon Age 4 at the Video Game Awards, and then all of a sudden, like, all we get is half of a teaser. I don't know.
You got all the information I gave you last episode. There will be a Dragon Age 4, and it will be about Dread Wolf. Done. That's all they gave us. There's a few more hints that not everybody have unlocked. I've noticed some websites are still trying to pass some of the images that are in there. It's fun. I'd say there's a lot of companies that this year have shown they don't get it. EA for just not being in touch with the fact that their customer base is a bunch of assholes. Sorry, sphincters, rectal sphincters.
Allow me to inject some seriousness into this. If I had to pick between EA and Blizzard, I'd go there. Not knowing that a PC-centric community, staunch and steadfast in their beliefs that PCs are, and then this is what the CCP did with Dust 514. Come to our thing, buy all the things. Oh, guess what? It's not for this, for that.
So the latex glove goes to Blizzard.
It's got to be. Can it be a soiled latex glove, please? Give it to me. I'll soil it.
Well, it can be. To be perfectly honest, I had toyed with the idea of using for the award being a prophylactic or a used prophylactic, but I decided that it might be better to do or a little more kind, maybe not so harsh, to do the latex glove.
I'm thinking Bam probably knows a veterinarian somewhere.
Well, and on that note, and this is why I saved this one, the Sweaty Jockstrap Award for the most unnecessarily realistic game. My nomination goes to Red Dead Redemption, because apparently, in this game, the horse testicles actually shrink in wintertime. I mean, who needed to know that? Who needed to see that? I have no idea. And somebody spent time programming and modeling that.
I'm trying to think of testicle-related puns here. Well, that swings it. Good God. I mean, when this guy goes to his next interview, he's got his portfolio. So what did you develop at Red Dead Redemption? Yeah, I developed the testicles of a horse. Some of they dangle deeper, and winter they go right back up there.
I was responsible for the realistic shrinking of horse testicles within Red Dead Redemption 2.
I want to give Cujo Sound a Sweaty Jockstrap, because, you know, the in-depth stuff he did with sound, to be fair, with Hitman 2. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But the amount of detail I heard about him having to go there, and he wrote blog posts and theorems and all sorts of jargon that my brain just went flatline. It's like, okay, this boy is a bit too in depth in his music. He loves his tunes. My vote goes to Cujo Sound on, I was just about to say it then, I'm not going to say it, but a previous developer for Hitman. Sound developer. I was just about to say it then, thank God I stopped myself.
Well, I remember we had an audio developer on a couple of years ago as well who talked about how one of the sound effects in a game was it a toilet flushing? And I remember the Till Extremes people literally went to a wastewater treatment plant and recorded sounds from the wastewater treatment just to get it right. So when you play Warframe on, what is it Saturn, where there's a lot of underground things with pipes and stuff, the sound effects are water treatment plants.
He was talking about using a plunger in his toilet for the green slime or something like that. Yeah, but he recorded that sound for like that was like a green slime or a gelatinous cube or something like that.
But no, in unnecessarily realistic physics, I don't know if it's realistic, but unnecessarily, yeah. Conan Exiles.
The dong slider.
Yeah, for that matter, the boob slider. Yeah.
Pointless.
Just
you mean
utterly
not
pointless.
unnecessary?
I mean,
pointless.
it got them PR, right? And it's the same with Red Dead Redemption. It got them PR, but
you see, with Conan Exiles, TTP was a lot quicker than Red Dead in Exiles compared to Red Dead.
TTP was literally zero.
So it sounds like because Bam threw in one and then G picks one that wasn't even from this year. Was Conan Exiles this year or was it last year?
Conan was this year.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was last year.
Well, that's because the early access was last year or the year before even. But the official release was this year.
Yeah, so we're undecided on that. So I guess no one gets a Sweaty Jockstrap sent to them in email.
Can I just send it to Cujo Sound as a consolation prize?
I don't think he would appreciate it.
I think he would.
I genuinely enjoyed having him on the show and being able to talk to him about that stuff.
Gee, you've got jockstraps. Can you sit in one for a couple of days and then just post it to Cujo? He's in your neck of the woods. He's in Belgium.
Yeah, he's in Poland.
Oh, sorry, he is a Belgium and he is in Poland. Yeah, apologies.
No, he's not. He's from Denmark.
Oh, sorry. I get the Belenese and the Danes mixed up all the time. Sorry.
Okay. And I shall bring my mouth guard for when we head to England.
What? They all look alike.
And on that note, this thing has run so long. We've talked about so much. We've joked and laughed so much. I think Bam made a good point. We now look at what we're going to be doing with the show next year and how we might be changing the format.
This will be one of the last episodes, boys and girls, that will have this particular format, where the news, A block, and then the interview is slotted all together to then bring you all the deliciousness in an hour and a half to an hour sort of scope. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the news to 2 parts, one on a Monday, one later on the week. We're going to keep the interviews as the main podcast, because the interviews are taking just so long, because these guys we're speaking to are just so interesting. And doing a 45-minute interview just sometimes doesn't do the game or the developer or what they're trying to do any justice. So we'll keep the interviews. We're going to change the news topics. We're going to change the beat topics. Hopefully get more content out there for you guys. So essentially that's what it's going to be. Just a reorganization of how we do things. So instead of having one release a week, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, what we're going to do is we're going to go for a news item at the beginning of the week, a news item towards the end of the week, and we're going to go ahead and keep the podcast as a podcast, but i.e. make it solely interviews with the devs, mostly indie devs, and slot that somewhere in the middle of the week and have a review A block, B block, whatever have you, slot it in somewhere else, get more content out there. Hopefully you guys will enjoy a new format, and we will see how it goes, see if this works. And if it does work out, we might actually show our faces live on camera.
Should probably add, we also have a bit of an intention to keep Comic Shop Talk and upcoming games. So interspersed in between the interviews on some off weeks, you will get those coming out.
So if you like the new format, let us know. If you don't like the new format, let us know. Give us some feedback on what you would like to see as well. If you've run into games that we haven't talked about that you'd like to see us cover, we're always looking for more stuff to take a look at. So
yes, this is more shameless plugging, because something we've been told by many people is that we don't plug our show enough. And to be honest, it's something we fail at miserably, because we just don't have that sort of mental foresight with these sorts of things. So yes, comment, rate, subscribe, share. You know, this is an excellent sort of chat to stick in your car on your way to work. I know I do. You know, some people have said we need more content out there, so we are going to do that. We rattled our brains and we've come up with this. Hopefully the solution works.
But yeah, there's one episode left this year that will still follow the old format, and then, if my watch is correct, it will actually be on the 7th.
Stay tuned.
You'll catch news with track.
So, on that note, for myself, Draconis, I am out. Enjoy the rest of the year. We got one more episode coming up. I think we have an interview scheduled for that. We'll let you know. And guys, as always, it's been fun.
It's been something. Ciao.
And from me, Bam Havoc, I love all you peoples out there. Much love. I will see you guys soon.